Setlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Welcome. This is the High Point Talk, episode 1. From pain to purpose, welcome to the High Point Talk. This is what we're going to be talking about. How to go from pain to purpose, from low to legacy. This is the High Point Talk. Real stories, transformational lessons, bold leadership. Welcome back. Welcome, everybody. It's great to have you here. This is the High Point Talk. We're going to be talking about life, leadership, and legacy, from low points to high points, so you can live well, wisely, and humbly. I am your host, Heber Mena, a man who went from surviving to thriving. And now I'm on a mission to help you do the same thing. Whether you are at rock bottom, climbing your way up, or standing strong at your peak, this channel is for you. And here's our belief. Every person has a low point, a moment of pain or adversity, a middle point, a season of growth, decision, or even confusion, and a high point where clarity meets calling. When we get to that top one, but not before being on the low, the middle, and then get into that high. And this is where, again, purpose meets power. That's what I call the high point. And we are here to help you rise to that high point. And so, what is all this about? This is the tagline that I'm going to be using: real stories, transformational lessons, and bold leadership. We're not here to sugarcoat life. We're here to reclaim it. And here is where we're going to get real about the struggles, the breakdowns, the breakthroughs, and the bounce backs. Because guess what? Your pain has a purpose. Your mess can become your message. And your low point could just be the birthplace of legacy. So here's what you can expect on the High Point Talk. Every episode, we're going to be talking about things that are real. Things that has to do with transformation. Things that are going to help you gain awareness. It's going to help you to acknowledge all those things that you are discovering during the awareness section. And then I'm going to encourage you to take action. But how am I going to do that? The way I'm going to do that is because every episode is built to encourage, equip, and empower. I'm going to provide you tools that will help you grow personally, professionally, and as a person of faith, spiritually. You'll get interviews with people who have turned trials into triumphs. You're going to get leadership tools to help you grow in influence. You're going to get faith-based encouragement in mindset shifts. You're going to get business and productivity strategies. You're going to get life lessons from my own journey, raw and real. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not your babysitter. I'm not going to be your cheerleader. What I promise you to be is I'm going to be your fellow journeyer. We're going to embark on this transformational journey. So whether you're a leader, a dreamer, a parent, a pastor, a professional, or just someone trying to find your next step, you are in the right place. So let me give you a snapshot of my story. I was born in El Salvador in 1975. So yes, this month I'm turning 50. I was born in 75, and then 3-4 years later, the Civil War started. And then all throughout the 80s, I lived through bullets, bombs, strikes, you name it, everything related to war. And then the post-war, it's when the gangs came. After the war, after supposedly we were supposed to have peace, this is when the gangs started just blooming in El Salvador. So as you can hear, I didn't grow up on a mountain. I was born in the valley. I come from a war-torn country, raised in poverty, without a father, scared, broken, and angry. Yes, I said it, angry. Not resentful, but angry. But somewhere along the way, I met people who believed in me. And more importantly, God got a hold of my heart. And I discovered the power of growth. I discovered the power of growth mindset, faith, community, and slowly I started rising. Now I spent nearly 30 years building leaders, not only in my country, not only in the United States, but literally around the world. Training, coaching, speaking, mentoring, facilitating change, and lasting transformation. But what matters most is helping you rise. That's my goal. That's my objective. That's the core, the reason why I'm starting this podcast, this channel. So this channel is not about perfection. It's about the process that we all go through. It's about showing up low, messy, and real. Low, messy, and real. That's it. And still choosing to grow. Still choosing to face the challenges that are coming our way. And that is why I started the High Point Talk. Every episode will be built on 3 pillars that I want to share with you. Number 1, life. Let's get honest. We'll talk about identity. We'll talk about mental health, relationships, emotional health, physical health, fatherhood, faith. We will dig into the real stuff, the painful stuff, and we don't always talk about, but we should be talking about. Because you cannot change anything that you don't acknowledge. And so we're going to be talking about all of those things and more. That's pillar number 1. Number 2, something that I am about. In 2015, whenever I turned 40, I woke up depressed, crying, and throwing a self-pity party, thinking I am old. And guess what happened? I started crying literally under my desk at my office. And while I was there, God brought to me the account when Caleb comes to Joshua. Now Moses is dead. Joshua is in charge. Caleb and Joshua are the 2 spies that went to the promised land and came back with a good report. And Caleb tells to Joshua, you know what? I want to take that mountain. Would you give it to me? Then Joshua say, absolutely, you take it. But what that meant was Caleb needed to put together a group of men that were going to go with him and conquer that mountain. It wasn't just like, yeah, go ahead and build up, erect the tent, plant tomatoes and potatoes and cucumbers, and live happily ever after. No, it's about get some people, get to that place, and conquer it. And what happened is that I started just thinking about, like, how old was Caleb whenever this happened? Guess what? It was between 80 and 84. And there I was turning 40, throwing a self-pity party, crying. And so I told God, if you allow me to live 40 more years, what would I do? That was in 2015. And I just started crying. The passage came to my mind. I got up and I see this frame that was in front of my wall. And the word was leadership. And on top of that was an eagle. It was kind of cheesy at the beginning, but at the same time, that's the word that came. So because of that, I decided to stay focused on the lane of leadership. So pillar number 2 is going to be leadership. We're going to get strategic. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about how leadership is found in relationship. We're going to talk about equipping. We're going to talk about attitude. We're going to talk about leadership, communication, mindset, productivity, decision-making, strategic thinking. Because when you lead yourself well, everything changes. So, pillar number 2, leadership. Pillar number 3, legacy. Let's get intentional. We don't have to start thinking about what our legacy is going to be until we are in our last days. We need to already start thinking about what we're going to be giving to others. How are we going to multiply that value that we have built and then we have acquired? We're going to talk about values, family, mentorship, and building something that lasts, because success isn't the goal. Significance is. And I want to tell you that. I went from survival to success, whatever that means for you. I'm going to tell you what that means for me. And then to significance. That's the goal right here. So after those 3 pillars, there is life, leadership, and legacy. I want you to know also the values that we're going to be observing at the High Point Talk. These are the values that I want you to know from the get-go. So number 1, respect. That is my top value. That's the highest value in my life. So we're going to talk about respect, integrity. We honor your story. I want to create a safer space where people can come and talk about their pain, talk about everything that it's eating them inside. So respect and integrity. We're going to we're going to observe transparency and vulnerability. It takes more energy to be who I am not than to be who I am. So I'm going to be brutally honest, transparent, but I'm also going to be vulnerable. I'm going to model that because I value that. And I want you to be able to embrace it. Real talk, no bluff, transparency, and vulnerability. We're also going to be authentic. We're going to value authenticity. I want you to be who you are, and you're going to see me raw. By the way, if you're one of those people with OCD and you're already thinking, Heber, your shirt is inside out. Yes, it is. And that's the way I wear it. All my undershirts are worn inside out. And I'll tell you a story later on. That's how authentic I'm going to be. This is it. Okay? Fun. I value fun. I love it. Truth with a smile. I love humor. If you ever been in one of my conferences, or if I'm been able to do a workshop for your company, or if I'm been able to coach you or mentor you, you know that I love comedy. In fact, so you know, one of the things that I do is I try to stay away from news, and right before going to bed, I watch comedy. I learn from comedians. They're amazing. They're smart. And I love comedy. I just love it. And you're going to get to see it a little bit more. So right now, I'm a little serious just because I'm giving you the ballpark, the description of what the High Point Talk is going to be. But smart, Authenticity and fun. Those are the other two. Smart work and faith. Okay? This is where purpose meets strategy. So, there is no smart work without hard work. I'm not saying I don't value hard work, but we're going to learn how to utilize and how to honor the smart work and faith as well. That's my foundation. And I'm going to share it with you. Unapologetically. I'm going to share it with you. You're going to see it. Okay? So I hope you're still with me right now. Two more values, innovation and vision, ideas that lead to impact. I love innovation. But guess what? Brené Brown says that vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation. That's why I love vulnerability as well, because I love innovating and I love also vision. Vision. It's great to picture where you want to be. Start with the desired outcome and go into these ideas that are going to lead to impact. And two more values, leadership and empowerment. You know what? I love empowering people. I love to help them believe in themselves and being able to see the value that they have, but also empower them to make a difference in their own world. We cannot change the whole world, perhaps, but we can change our own world. And I invite you to do that. So we're going to do that with leadership and empowerment. So there you have it. So values for High Point Talk. If you want to hang out with us, respect, integrity, we honor your story, transparency and vulnerability, real talk, no bluff, authenticity and fun, truth with a smile, smart work and faith, purpose meets strategy, innovation and vision, ideas that lead to impact, and leadership and empowerment grow for every season. So as you can see, you're not just watching a channel, you're stepping into a movement, a transformational movement. By the way, transformation is one of my favorite things. You know what? I was doing a study like probably 3-4 years ago, and I was my word for that year was transformation. And I went and started looking for the etymology of the word, and I'm a little nerd related to Greek, having studied the New Testament in Greek. So I went and started checking that word. And the Greek word for transformation is metamorphosis. So going from that little worm, growing a little bit, munching and eating leaves, and then turn into this beautiful butterfly. So this is a transformational movement. This is not just a channel or a podcast or however you want to call it. This is what I want to share with you. So here's the call to action for you. This is what I need from you. Give it to me as a birthday present. It's my 50th birthday. Okay? If I have made an impact in your life, if I've added value to you at some point, I want you to, if this resonates with you, what I just shared, to hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, but also like the video, leave a comment, and share it with somebody else. That's all I'm asking you. Very simple. Subscribe, like it, share it, and this is what tells YouTube that this matters. Help me spread the word. And I'll say, once again, subscribe, like, and type a comment. What's a low point in your life that taught you something? Let's start with that. So just get in the comments there after you subscribe and like it. And then what is a low point in your life that taught you something? And share it with us. Share this episode with someone who needs a little hope today. Let's build a community that doesn't just talk about change, but lives it. It is time for that. I want to connect with you. I want to add value to you. I want to empower you. I want to give you that hope. This is not about, we're not going to be talking about things we're against. We're going to be focusing on things that we are for. So if you ever felt stuck in your low point, just know you are not alone. Stuck stinks and sucks. Say it with me. Stuck stinks and sucks. You are not alone. You don't have to stay there. So let's rise together and let's start moving from survival to significance, from pain to purpose, and from legacy and from low to legacy. That's what I want to encourage you today. Let's start doing that. Let's start moving from that point. Let's rise together from survival to significance, from pain to purpose, from low to legacy, because your story isn't over. It's just getting started. In our next episode, I'm going to be sharing 3 pivotal decisions that helped me shift from surviving to thriving. And I promise it's going to challenge you in the best way. So once again, this is the High Point Talk, where we rise with purpose and lead with legacy. Until next time, stay focused, stay faithful, and stay rising.
Artlist.io.
I see you later.